Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Tyler Carlston here with the Mortgage Accelerated Podcast. And today we have Michelle Vaughn Rodriguez. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. Staying busy, staying busy. So how's life down in Louisiana?
We're we're winners down here. Just joking. We were just talking about Idol, so we're pretty excited about that.
Is he coming back anytime soon?
I don't know. I haven't. I mean, they're famous now, so we don't. I don't know what the game. I know he got a order from. What's it called, babe? He got a contract from Hollywood or something.
Yeah, I think the winners get signed automatically, so that's pretty cool. So Michelle, what's been going on with you? How's the last few months been for you?
We have been crazy, swamped, busy. Very good, busy. We're not complaining about that at all. Hold on, I'm gonna start a watch party just because I like to have people. Anyway, so we've been super busy, super excited with our growth. We have
Michelle Vaughn Rodriguez. How are you doing, Michelle?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic.
Okay. How do I undo this? Anyway, so we've been super busy, super excited. Am I still there? Do that. I was trying to do a watch party, but it's okay. Anyway, we've been really busy. We have business. Of course, we had a refi boom. I believe we had a little stall in that, and I believe it's coming back again. So you have we already have pretty steady purchase business. So growing up in the business, I was very blessed. My uncle and my aunt ran mortgage offices. So we have lots of, I just grew up to be known in the industry for my family to have in this area, for my family to be in the business. So we are very blessed with that. And I do try to stay I'm going to close out my email. I try to stay very involved and active, and I'm probably my worst own enemy when it comes to making sure we meet and exceed times for people. I'm gonna put that right there. So anyway, it's been good. We are excited. We are learning. We are having challenges. So just all that going on.
Yeah, I mean, when challenges happen, that means you're making growth, and it's always a new obstacle to make sure you get to that next level. So, Michelle, just tell me a little bit about yourself. Where'd you come from? How long have you been in the mortgage business for?
Well, we have a unique story. So my family had a business here. My dad was an engineer at Exxon, but he was also a builder. He had his own license, and so he built homes. He bought and sold foreclosures, so I laughed because we literally lived in every neighborhood in my little parish. And then so we bought a foreclosure. We lived in it for a couple years, and then he'd sell it. So anyway, my uncle was owned a mortgage company, and then my other uncle was an appraiser. So most of my family, I have cousins that are real estate agents. Most of my family is in the business. So like I tell people, we were, always around, always hanging out, doing what we could to learn and grow. And I've always probably been the one of my age group that was really gung-ho and kind of felt my place was in this business. I got licensed, I want to say right when I turned 19. So it was, I really had no idea what I was doing, but I did really well. I was a young mom, and then I got married. And so, it was something that I could do and go to school and work and, try to raise a family. So, and it's just been ever since. We love it.
That's awesome. So what's been your journey? Where'd you first start working in the mortgage industry?
We had my uncle and my aunt ran a bunch of branches in Louisiana of Fairway Mortgage. And so that's where, I would say we probably learned the most of our stuff. I still have family that works there on the operations, the higher up operation side. And then I and then once we had some issues with the sales side and the owner of the company and my family, nothing to do with me, but and then so our sales offices ended up, my aunt and uncle retired and they're no longer in the business. So that was 2015 or 6. So I bounced around. I kind of went to a few retail lenders. 2016. I went to Caliber for a little bit. I went to Envoy. That's a local local company here, and then Prime Lending. And I was just to the point where it gotten to be where I realized that there was so much in that I didn't know any other thing. Right? You only know what you know. But they were ripping people off with fees. The premiums were so high on the back end, and I was like, what am I doing? I didn't even feel comfortable closing a loan anymore. It got to a point where I was like, I don't get it. And honestly, Facebook kind of brought me, I joined this, I think LO Life was the first group that I kind of looked at, because I was like, there's got to be more than what I'm just experiencing in my little world, right? Because if you're just only in your own little world, you have no idea what's going on out there. And it was crazy because like I kept seeing these brokers and it was like posting these rates, and I'm like, there's no way, like that's not even on my rate sheet. And then they're like, no fees, and I could do this and I could do that. I'm like, oh my God, if I could just help 2 borrowers a month, that'd be great, or whatever, to save some money. Because I had gotten to the point where I was so sickening with costs that you didn't even want to do loans anymore. So anyway, long story short, I decided it was either I'd gotten to the point where I was burnt out, like I was out the business or I was gonna open my own shop. So me and my husband, who we have a great story, but we won't go there, but we had decided to go ahead and open my own shop. He has supported me 100%. He works here late night every day with me while he has another job at the moment. So, I have aspirations to expand to other states, to help other loan officers, to hire. I have a really big dream, and I'm just in the process of trying to take care of my local community and my local clients, and wanting to dream and expand and grow our brand outside of Louisiana.
So Paradise really wants to start growing, and what states are you wanting to try to get into?
I think, personally, I'm a Southerner. I'm like the epitome of a Southerner, right? Like, you think of someone, a Southern woman, it's probably mostly me. So I'm country, I'm Cajun. Like, we have farm, we have, we grow our own food. We're just, barefoot. I'll go my slippers to Walmart. I don't have no shame. But so, I want, the South, the Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. That would be where I start, probably the South. And that would be in collaboration with other loan officers, I actually want to grow and expand I want a partnership with other people. I don't necessarily want to go in and take over market share. I want to go and take my skill set and what I'm good at and help other people grow their own businesses and, streamline some of these things, because I would say I'm really good at problem solving and really good at, I always naturally gravitated towards going to the toughest situation and putting my hands in it and get it. As a loan officer, that kind of makes life difficult, right? Because of course, that's where I end up with the no score VA IRRRLs that take me 2 months to get done. But I got it done. And then, but as if you take from a broader perspective, and I can help loan officers who are doing 5 and 6 loans a month by themselves or whatever, and grow that, I think we will get where, I think we'll be able to help other people. It's not about, it's about enriching other people's lives for us. What we want to do.
Yeah, that's a good driving force, and it's okay. There we go.
I was like, hey.
Okay, so yeah, Michelle, what do you think your biggest struggle was when you first got into the business? I mean, I know a lot of family had been in, so it's probably a little bit easier transition than most, but if you had to name one thing, what was your biggest struggle?
You mean back in 19 or like when I was 19 or whenever I was, I mean, I would say more recently is when I was 19, I don't know, because I felt like I was raised in it. You know what I mean? It wasn't, um, but I would say like at the time, my sister was the ops manager. That was kind of stressful. She was like bossy to me. No, so I don't know. That wasn't. I felt like I just kind of eased into it. It wasn't necessarily that wasn't my struggle. My biggest struggle is transitioning from the retail world to the broker world. I would say, and I would say because, and I have a lot of respect, mad respect for the brokers that's been here forever, because there's a lot to be said for what the retail they employ a lot of people to do loans, to have that foundation and that backup and that support for every single detail that as retail loan officers we just didn't do. And now that I'm realizing that there's probably one partner on the wholesale side, that's UWM, that makes it easy to do loans. So but as I'm going and I'm searching all these other lenders, and I'm testing the waters. I got 3 here, I got 4 here, I got 2 here, I got 1 here, 1 here. I think I have 8 different lenders right now that I have active loans with, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot more than now I am processing by myself. I'm doing manufactured homes. I'm doing purchase business, so I'm doing cash out refinance. I'm doing VA EARLs, so it's not one thing where a lot of people get a niche and they do one. People come to me normally with like, hey, I have a financial issue. Can you help me? Not just bad financial, but whether they're wanting to buy investment properties, or whether they're getting a divorce, or they're getting married, or they're doing this, typically people go to me because I'm always freely giving advice to people. So they'll come to me and they're like, hey, what should I do about the situation? So I would say that's the broker world is just struggling with the lender part, of who to go to and what they require. Sorry.
Yeah, makes sense. So, Michelle, if you could go back to when you first got into the business, what would you tell yourself to really set yourself ahead that you know now?
That's a hard question. Don't beat myself up. I'm one of those people where I do beat myself up a lot, and I'm very hard on myself. So I would say the biggest thing is as I grow as an 18, 19-year-old kid, I really was a kid, who was going through the business. I did some really big things back then. I mean, I remember like one of our biggest radio DJs, I did his loan, and I was like so excited. He's the voice of Scooby-Doo, Scott. I did his loan. I was 19. I was like so pumped. And I missed that excitement of how exciting it was to do a loan back then, if that makes sense. But I would say I'm trying to think about it. It was so much of an emotional roller coaster. Like I used to, and I still do it, but not as bad as I used to do it. But it was so much of an emotional roller coaster. Like if somebody had really bad credit and they came to me and I couldn't help them, I would internalize that a lot. Like I would feel personally responsible for them not getting a loan. And finally you have to just tell yourself, like, I didn't put this person in this situation. Or this house, you do have deal fall throughs. I used to get really upset about them and make, emotional decisions based on that, where now it's like, I didn't control that the sellers did whatever to not make the house go through, or, you know what I mean? Like to realize that you can only control so many parts of the deal, and to not try to save the world on every single deal would be something that, I don't know. I'm happy with my journey though. You look like as you grow and as you get older, you learn to be less stupid. I mean, just, I get less stupider every day.
Yeah, I think everybody makes daily progressions. At least I'd hope so.
Right.
So what if you had the magic wand and you were sitting at the throne today, what would you change in the mortgage industry if you had the power to?
God, there's so many, but I would say the disclosures are so difficult and so for the consumer, and they're just terrible. So I would say easier communication with the client. That would be the best for the client to have better disclosures and not 500 of them.
Yeah. So if you could, Michelle, like could you tell us what drives you? What makes you get up every day and work so hard for all your clients?
I just have a general belief in, I'm not driven by money. I can tell you what I'm not driven by, and that's something that I really do. I self-reflect very often. I'm a very strong believer in God. I pray often. And so I want to do what God has set me out to do, and that is to help other people better their lives. And I'm able to do that because I have a very strong financial brain, and I can make some really strong financial decisions and help people either get in a house, get out of a house, do whatever. And I just believe that God wants me to continue to enrich people's lives by doing that. And when he tells me not to do it, I won't do it anymore. Or, like whenever I get that. My husband's listening to me. He's trying to silence me. He's probably tired of hearing me talking today. But yeah, I have a strong faith, and I try to stick by what God wants me to do.
That's awesome. So besides expanding, what are the goals for Paradise Mortgage coming in the next 6 to 12 months?
To roll out nationwide. With a financial opportunity that nobody else.
Yeah, we have a plan that if it can be done properly, with the right people and the right frame, the right people, the right frame of mind. We want good, wholesome people that wants to help other people. This is for us to have good change makers to gather together, enrich people's lives, and create a platform. The platform that I have in mind, and the plans that I have in mind are really pretty big. So I can't go into details, but it is bringing other people on board. It's letting people have ownership in their own business without, I don't want to control anyone at all. I want people to want to do loans. I want people to want to help people. But we want to help them grow and create, I'm really good at social media. I'm really good at technology. I'm really good at all those things, and I can help make people's lives easier, growing our brand on a national level, and making partners with other owners. If that makes sense. Anyway, we're this close to having everything we need to have.
Yeah, I mean, with your drive and the progress you've been making, I have no doubt that you'll be able to hit those goals. So, Michelle, that is all the time we have today. So I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in, and thank you, Michelle, for coming on. I appreciate it.
Okay, we really appreciate it. And we're gonna follow you and keep listening to your podcast.
Awesome. Thank you. And tune in next week. We have a very special guest I will announce on Monday. Talk later, everybody.